Giselle's such a special one. Giselle's such a special one.
It's one of the classics, and it's one of the longest continually performed ballets in the world. It's from 1841, and it's from the Romantic era, the whole era of Ballet Blanc, Les Sylphides, La Sylphide, Giselle, Swan Lake, where the prima ballerina and the corps de ballet were all in white. And it's so exciting that the audience can come to see something that they saw in 1841, and that it's basically the same, basically the same structure.
It's a really wonderful and powerful ballet because of those elements.
Well, I mean, the point shoe it was evolving, and it evolved again when they did Giselle. They gave more support to it so that the ballerina could actually dance on point. I mean, she wasn't just kind of softly relevéing up and coming down. She could bourrée, she could turn on point, she could jump. So that ethereal quality of like a nymph, a sprite, all of those ballets, those romantic ballets that required that was the reason for the point shoe.
Well, it's amazing to imagine just how visually evocative it is for today's audiences who have seen point shoes and know a little bit more about what we can do in them. But back then, to imagine watching, there's this incredible part when Myrtha does her bourrées, and she just floats from one side of the stage to the other. And so just the change that would have brought to ballet was really important.
There's kind of the variety of movements is so challenging. You've got the lyrical, and then you've got where she's doing those hops and attitude going around and spinning. I mean, it changes so much.
Well, that's what's so incredible about this ballet is that the arc of both characters encompasses so many emotions and then different types of dancing because of that. Because you have the excitement of first act when they're in love, and the flirting, and the scenes with the flower where he's courting her essentially, and so the movement is much more bright. And then you go into the mad scene where it's this much more tortured and the extremes of those emotions, and then you move into this seamless quality, and the requirements on your body are different for every kind of character that she becomes. And same with Albrecht, that he has this youthful buoyancy at the beginning, and then the responsibility of what he's done really weighs on him in second act, and so it feels so different. And it's amazing that the ballet has that breadth of character and dancing and score. It matches it so well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a masterpiece. Musically, technically for dancers, it's a very challenging ballet. Even for the corps de ballet to stand on the sides with the principals and not be able to move, I mean, that's a challenge itself. And everybody has to be exactly the same, the way they move, they switch their feet, they switch positions. I mean, that's also takes a lot of responsibility to make the production look professional and respectful to the choreographers. Well, and from what I understand, this is the first ballet that you saw.
I did. When I was 17, I went with a girlfriend, and we thought we'd go to see a ballet. We had no idea what we were seeing. And we went to the Met, to Lincoln Center, and Ballet Nacional de Cuba was on at the Met. And Alicia Alonso was doing Giselle, and I didn't know who she was, and we didn't know. We were seeing this production at the Met. It was my first time at the Met, and somebody leaned over to me during the first act and said, "Do you know she's blind?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What? No way." I was like, "This person's crazy."
Yeah.
So come to find out, that she could see shadows and things like that, but it's amazing they had it all figured out backstage, how to get her on and off.
So what struck you about it then as a production?
I don't know. I just, I think it was everything that we've been talking about. It was just such a fantastic story, and that it touches you in a way that just like the human voice can with opera, but, beautiful music. There's something that touches your soul, and you see that. You just see people doing things that I was like, oh, I had started dancing and I was dancing, but I just started ballet, so I was just blown away. So I think that's kind of fun for me, cyclical, to kind of do Giselle here for everybody and just, kind of work on that. And I always loved dancing it, so. And I mean, the story, it's pretty obvious. I mean, and it's not a man falling in love with a bird it's not a fairy tale. It's a real story. That's what I like about, like that Giselle it's real life. I mean, it's relationships and people being not nice to people. And it's
People mess up,
yeah,
and people forgive
it's reality.
Yeah.
That's what I liked that about an older classical ballet, that we weren't in a fairy tale. I guess Act 2 is a little bit more mythical in a way with the Willies, but still, there's just so much truth there, I think.
This is a beautiful production. Like you mentioned it's so relatable to the audience. There's so much character involved that everybody can relate to. Being an innocent, trying to find love for the first time, being interested in finding love, falling in love, having a heartbreak, betrayal, jealousy, envy, madness. Anybody who could come and watch Giselle could relate themselves through the experience of the storytelling that is put on the show. And so one of my favorite parts about the story is actually that through heartaches, love always wins. And so she's able to save him through love at the very end.